Hey, thanks for watching. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to really combine e-hypnotherapy or hypnotherapy with any other existing skills that you have. Simply because I was asked this question in one of our recent groups. So let me share my screen and I will go through this. So here, one of our coaches, Abby, asked this for Narelle. So said, hey, Shane, just wanted to share Narelle's question with you and the group, as I feel some other people may have similar questions with their pre-existing business and Hypno, and may also be needing some guidance. So Narelle has a business coaching business, but she's unsure whether she should merge hypnosis and business coaching or have the two separate. Also, should she have coaching and Hypno separate on her business coaching website? The other question is, if you recommend merging, do you have any suggestions on how she could for her program? Or if you don't recommend merging, keeping them separate, would you have a small Hypno offer as a lead magnet for her coaching? So really good questions. So the first thing I want to do is share with you, I guess, how you can look at it. There's not one way to do this, there's just multiple ways of doing it. And that is typically, if you already have an offering, there's a good chance you have let's call it a general website, a website where you are already promoting yourself or your services. And typically it would look like this. You've got maybe a logo in the top corner, you've got a menu system across the top, many different pages, might be a home page, an about me page or about us page, a shop page perhaps, a blog page, a contact us page, maybe something like programs. There's generally a number of pages. So when you think about it as a website, it's pretty deep. There's a lot of work that goes into it, many pages that make up this overall website. And then, it scrolls down and whatever else happens in there. Now, the downside of it, also one of the good things about having a website like this is it showcases everything you do. So I do have a website like this. We've got one for our company. We've got one for me personally. And they showcase all the things that we do. But I also want to let you know that those websites haven't done much for us in the way of getting sales. I want you to be clear on that. They haven't done much. Very few sales ever come through those websites. What they do is they just showcase what we do. Now, those general websites, often what they do is they break some marketing laws. So some of the laws of marketing, like principles of effective marketing, is if you give people too many choices, they won't make a decision. They'll just back away. There's too many things going on. Also, when people are time poor and they're interested in something, when they check out a website, they're interested. There's something that's initiating their interest to go, oh, I want to have a look at this. But maybe they've only got a minute, maybe they only got 2 minutes, maybe they got 5 minutes. And it's typically not an amount of time that they recognize. They don't go, well, hang on, I've only got 2 minutes here. It's because they're checking something out, but unbeknownst to them, in 2 minutes time, someone's going to walk through the door, or in 5 minutes time, their kid or their partner or their dog or their cat is going to need their time and their attention. And so you want to give people an opportunity to make a decision, to take action very quickly. Now, if you give people a big website, there's a lot of stuff going on in there, and it doesn't funnel people into a certain behavior. And that's really what marketing laws are all about, is give people focus on one thing. Don't try and focus on too many things. Make sure that people aren't given too many options, because if they're given too many options, they won't make a decision. And make sure that it's really directing their attention in the right way, and that you're communicating more directly to them. Now, again, a general website, who is a general website really appealing to? Well, it's typically only appealing to someone that is interested in that website, but you might have different brands. So if you think of it as brands, coming back to what Narelle was asking, she's got coaching and she's got hypnosis. Now, you can either keep them as separate brands. You go, well, one of my brands is business coaching. We'll call it, excellent business coaching. And then the other one could be deep hypnosis treatments. And so you can have two different brands. Now, those two different brands can appear on your general website. And you might have them, one brand appearing here and one brand appearing there as the general website. Now, I'll very quickly bring up my website. I'll just show you an example of this. So you can see I've got different brands. So you got the AHC, you've got Relationship Success, ASM, World Class Speed Training. I haven't updated this for probably 2 years now. It's a bit outdated because it just doesn't factor in my larger marketing scheme just yet. So it's good to have, but it's not crucial. And if you've spent some time around me, I'm always about working smarter, not just harder, and kind of being smart lazy. And that is, look, I'll get around to this eventually, but this is not crucial. This is not the stuff that's really going to move my business forward. It's not the stuff that's going to allow me to transform hundreds and thousands of lives. It's nice to have, but it's not crucial. So going back to what we're talking about, so you can have multiple brands that appear on your general website. But it does, just know that it does break marketing laws. Those websites are not the most effective thing you could be doing with your marketing time, the time that you spend marketing. What it also doesn't control the user's actions. So again, those websites, going back to mine, there's so many different things they can do. They can, sign up today. What's this about button do? There's programs. What are the programs? They get lost in it. What's this thing? Where does that take me? That takes me somewhere else. And they go down this rabbit hole of information and twists and turns. And now I came here for hypnosis, but what's this relationship success thing? And they get distracted. What's this ASM stuff? And work-class speaker training. But they get distracted by many things. Hang on, let's go have a look at what the blog says. And so now they're, again, further down the rabbit hole. And so that's why it doesn't control the user's actions. It gives them too many things to be able to get distracted by. And as it says, get distracted or even lost. They're like, hang on, why even come here in the first place? Because now they're reading a blog post that might go for 5 or 6 minutes, and their attention's taken with something else that wasn't the main intention that brought them here in the first place. Those websites take a lot of time to build because there's 20 pages or 10 pages or 5 pages, whatever the amount of pages are. It's a lot of effort goes into them, and they're just not crucial to the sales process, to the online sales process. It just isn't essential. You can have no website like that and still be making significant amount of sales, changing thousands of people's lives, because when you put together a funnel that is very focused on marketing, getting sales and getting people to invest in your program so you can then transform their life, those general websites are outside the funnel. They don't even fall within the funnel because they're not effective anymore. Now, back in the 90s, if you had a website like that, you were at the top of your marketing prowess, because that back then was the wow factor. If you had a website like that, wow. And then, in the 2000s, maybe, it started, that's when the masses started to come to it. But these days, in 2010, 2020s, they're old. They're worth having, of course. Like I said, I don't want to say that they're not worth having at all. They're worth having, but you shouldn't focus your limited amount of time, your limited amount of marketing time on those things. If you already have them up and running, great. Just maybe make a few tweaks, a few changes, put in another brand, away you go. But if you're starting from scratch and you're going to invest 10 hours of marketing time, I would not recommend you invest 10 hours of marketing time to create a general website. I would say you invest 10 hours of marketing time into create a marketing landing page. Now, let me show you an example of a landing page, which probably not the best one because I don't really use this one much anymore. But this is pretty much it. So this is a landing page. It hasn't been updated for a while now, but you can see now it's only focused. Yes, we got to it through the main website, but it actually has its own website, learnhypnosis.com.au. It actually is a standalone website. Just connect it to the main one. And that is probably how you really can connect them, is through the general website. You can direct people to the marketing funnels. And that's kind of what I've done here. But you can see there's only one button to click. It says enroll now. If you click that, what happens? I can't remember now. It takes, again, it's outdated, 2018. It takes you to, you're either going to register for these events or not. You're either in or you're out. There's nothing else to really do. You can't go anywhere. There's no blog post. You hit enroll, takes you back to register me. And you're either going to register. You're going to frequently ask questions. Yes, there is a place to ask a specific question, but there's nothing else you can do. You cannot move away from this page. You're either in or you're out. Like nothing else. All the buttons take you here. Now, please don't model this page. It's an outdated page back in 2018, and probably even late 2017 is when I built it. But everything just gets you to you're either in or you're out. If you're out, that's okay as well. This wasn't the right thing for you. But that's an example of a landing page. Now you can see, there's a bit of work that goes into it, but it doesn't have to be like that. Let me show you a very quick landing page. We'll go to 7-minute recharge, just so you don't feel like, oh, you need to build this really big thing. So here's an example. If we go back to the wireframe, you have a headline, you might have a video or an image, you have an opt-in form, and maybe some other additional information, but all about the one thing. So this focuses on one brand only one thing. Just what's the one brand? So if it was hypnosis, it's just hypnosis. If it's business coaching, it's just business coaching. It aligns with the marketing laws, which is you are now giving people one option. You're either in or you're out. It's completely focused on communicating directly to your target market that came here for a reason. And so it draws them in. You're not, the downside of a general website is if you go to my general website because you're interested in hypnosis, well, seeing the relationship stuff is just wasting your time. It's actually wasting real estate on the web page. And so you're not there for that. So why even show you that stuff? You might argue, well, maybe I'm interested in it, but maybe not as well. And so it's just a waste of time, as opposed to if you come to the website for hypnosis and you clicked on something that said this is about hypnosis, then I know you're absolutely interested in hypnosis. So I'm going to only use the real estate of the website to communicate hypnosis. And so now the user only has one action they can take. It's potent and focused marketing messages. So the messages used on the real estate of the website is only about communicating and influencing and reassuring the user or the visitor that this is the right choice, or helping them get to a point where they can make an informed decision. It's faster to build. And I want to show you this quick example. So here we go. We've got a headline: download this 7-minute recharge to rapidly energize your life. Just headline. So what does that tell us instantly? It says you can download it. It's a 7-minute recharge. So instantly you go, well, I know it's only 7 minutes. Recharge, we go, well, I know that's kind of energy related, to rapidly energize your life. Okay, cool. So you're either in or out at that point. There's a subheading here, which is free, rapid hypnosis MP3 program. So again, it's all qualifying people. If you're not here for the right reason, I want you to disappear. I want you to go somewhere else, because this is not the page for you. There's no point in you looking at this page if you're not interested in these headlines already. Now I've got an image here, trying to kind of showcase it a little bit. We've got a quote here from someone that's used it before. We scroll down. I just want to show you how simple a landing page can be. There's not much to it. Headline, a little bit of information there. A few dot points here, what this program will do for you, the 5 most common uses of this program. There's a button to download it now. It's really easy to download to your smartphone, listen anytime. There's a few testimonies, download. So there's 1 button, 2 buttons, 3 buttons. They all do the same thing. If you click this one or this one or this one, they all do the same thing. Let's click it. Brings up the opt-in form. You enter your details. Now you're in. That's it. There's not much to it. So it takes no amount of time compared to those general websites. There you're like, I've got to do the home page, and that's this deep, and then I've got to put together the About Me page, and then that's that deep, and I've got to find all these images, and I've got to put all this stuff together. It's just not effective use of your time. So going back to this is why I really encourage people to go for the path of least resistance, or the shortest path between point A and point B. And if point A is you wanting to work with more clients and point B is you having more clients, then the fastest path is to create a marketing landing page that really funnels people's attention, funnels people's action to start a conversation with you, to start a relationship with you. So hopefully that makes sense now in terms of understanding how it all comes together. Now, to answer the question that Raul had around, do you combine them or do you keep them separate? Well, it's entirely up to you. I mean, you can keep them separate. You can have 2 separate brands, and you have a 3rd brand that combines them. Let's say that Coca-Cola might have the Coca-Cola, the classic Coca-Cola brand. That's their brand. Now you have Coca-Cola Amatil, I think it's called, is the company name. But they have brands. They have Coca-Cola, they have Sprite, I think, they have Lift. Who knows what else they have? They have Mount Franklin, at least in Australia, so the bottled water. And so imagine if Coca-Cola said, well, let's combine Coca-Cola with Lift, and now we have Coke Lift. That could be a 3rd brand. Now, there's probably some people out there that are after Coke Lift, like, wow, I know what Coke is like. I know what Lift is like, which is like that lemony drink. Wow, I want to taste what Coke Lift is like. So, you can I can't give you a definitive answer to this, Narelle, or anyone else watching, because I'm not creating your business. You get to create your business however you want to. You either keep them separate, or you combine them. Now, if you combine them, that might set you to a point where you're now more unique, because now you're one of the only business coaches that involves a unconscious component, the hypnotherapy component to it. So you really just get choices. You get choices about whether you blend it or whether you keep them separate. If you keep them separate, you can what we call bundle them, which is when you buy one, you get this one attached to it, so they can still be kept separate. We do this with some of our programs. We're like, okay, once you get access to this program, this other program attaches to it. So with the e-hypnotherapy program, you guys will know that you also get the world-class hypnosis script program. That's a standalone program, but it's like bundled in with the e-hypnosis program. So that's kind of how it works, is you get to make choices as to whether you blend them, whether you keep them separately, but you treat them like brands. And then when you market yourself, you just want to ask yourself, okay, if I've only got 10 hours, whatever, if that's 10 hours in a week or 10 hours in a month, whatever it is, how are you going to better use those 10 hours? How are you going to get the maximum output for the minimum input? So if you've only got 10 hours, I mean, 10 hours in a month is not that much. I know it might seem like a lot when you've got a lot going on in your life, but to market your business, to really build your business, to grow your business, it's not that much. If you're only spending 10 hours, it's going to take about sort of 3 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, to really start to see some significant gains from it. But if you can spend 10 hours a week, you will see a much faster growth in your business. And so it's really about using that time effectively. We can all be busy, but it's about focusing and being productive with that time as well. So I hope that answers the question. Let me just go back and make sure I answered all the questions. Let's go back to here. Business coach unsure, merge them. I've already answered that one. I'll keep them separate. Should you include them on the website? Merge them. Yeah, so it's up to you. I mean, you can merge them, you keep them the same. You just get to decide what you want to do with it. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some clarity as to how you can treat these. But I want to let you know that by going through the eHypno program, what you're doing is you're creating 4 videos to begin with, just 4 videos. They go for sort of 3 to 7 minutes each. If you can really just narrow in on that and go, I need to get that right. Now, how do you create those 4 videos? Well, the first thing you need to do is probably 2 things. You need to get really clear on your offer. So make sure you workshop that. Like reach out to myself, reach out to the coaches, reach out to other people in the group. Get more people to pull apart your offer. Get more people to kind of push it a little bit and prod it a little bit and massage it and make sure it is world class. Make sure it's really good, because if you can get your offer to be really good, then everything else cascades off that. Your marketing system is only as good as its weakest link in the chain. And so if the offer is not very good, well, then the rest of the marketing chain then suffers as a result of it. So, that's what we're here for. Most of the investment is in having our time. We want to help you. We want to coach you through this. We want to sort of help you massage your offer so that it is really world class. I've seen so many that are really world class. I've seen so many that aren't. And I'm not saying from you guys, but over the years. And so I just know what I know with some degree of accuracy. I'd probably say 85% accuracy. I can kind of see what's going to work and what's not going to work. I'm not 100% right. And I'll always tell you that, look, this is just my opinion. And this is what I think based on my marketing brain. But if you can get the offer right first, and then you do a competitor analysis, which we just taught in week 5, do a competitor analysis, because you might need to come back around and just tweak and change a few things with your offer. Once you do a competitor analysis, you realize, oh, hang on, there are some gaps that I was unaware of, or actually I need to do more research. Please, there are a few awakenings that happen through this when you realize that maybe you need to go and do some research. Don't try to be putting yourself out there as a sleep expert or a weight loss expert or a quit smoking expert or a drink water expert if you don't know the first thing about water. Like if you don't know the latest in research and science about water and how much water we should have and the different forms of water and whatever you just want to be at the forefront. Now, it doesn't mean you need to be the best expert. No one is gonna is going to hold you accountable for being the best expert in the world. You just need to know your stuff. And by doing the research, by doing the competitor analysis, gives you this internal confidence and this resilience that you know you've done the work. You know you've done the work. And when you speak to your audience, when you speak to your target market, you will speak with so much more conviction, so much more certainty, and energetically, you'll attract the right people. And what it also does is it removes a large part of that imposter syndrome when you're like, oh, I hope no one looks at this, or I hope no one digs beneath the surface because, you know, I don't want them to know that I feel like I'm a fraud. You know, it's just about going, I need to do the research. I need to do the research to make sure that I'm going to be able to push a lot of that imposter syndrome feelings out of the way because I know I've done the work. You won't feel like an imposter if you've read 2 or 3 of the world's best books on the topic. You won't feel like an imposter if you know more about your topic than 90% of the population out there. Now, you can always compare yourself to one of the world's best experts and feel like a fraud, but you're not comparing to that person. That's not the sort of person you're trying to help. You're trying to help the people that are just starting out today, the people that are struggling, the people that are at day 0 when you're at day 100. They're the people you want to be focusing on. So I hope that helps. Any other questions, let me know, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care. Bye.